Yo, what's up, guys? James Carter TV here to give my picks for Week 5 of the 2014 NFL regular season. Last week I went 8-5, and I'll take that. I'll take that every week. Now this week, however, there are less teams on bye week, but we will still strive for a perfect record. We probably won't attain it, but let's get a good record nonetheless. So, without further ado, let's start off with the Thursday night football game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Now, I predicted that the Minnesota Vikings would go to Minnesota and beat the Atlanta Falcons, who struggle on the road. And I was right on that. Now, that was not my initial prediction, but the more I thought about it, and the more I thought about the energy that Teddy Bridgewater brings to the Vikings, I said, hey, I think they're going to pull this one out at home. This seems like a game that they're going to win this season, because they're not going to be terrible, but they're not going to be very good either. But they're going to win these games every now and then. Now, will this be one of those games? No. I mean, Aaron Rodgers said to relax, and they came out and they whooped the Green Bay Packers in Chicago. Now they're back at Lambeau, and the Packers are going to get it done in Lambeau against the Minnesota Vikings, winning this game 27-24. Now, let's move on to the Sunday games. Chicago Bears at the Carolina Panthers. Now, this one is very difficult because both of these teams lost last week. They both are going to be real desperate to win this one, but I think I'm going to give it to the more desperate team, and that's the Panthers. They lost the last 2 weeks. They're back home. The crowd is going to be amped up. They know that they need to win this game because immediately after this game, they are going to Cincinnati, I believe, followed by to Green Bay. Wow, they need to win this game now, and I think that they will. I mean, I remember back to the Detroit Lions going to Carolina and only putting up 7 points. I think they are able to do that again against the Chicago Bears. I don't think that's asking much, although it will be close. So I have the Panthers winning 24-23, but I use that Lions game as evidence that the Panthers can get it done against an NFC North team in Carolina. Now, we move on to Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are rolling, and they will continue to roll for now. Now, this could be a Cowboy game, and they could revert to the same old Cowboys, but for now, in this Battle of Texas, I'm picking the Cowboys to win this one 26-17. Next game, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Detroit Lions. Wow, what was that? The Detroit Lions. Now, with this game, Kyle Orton is starting. Now, I mean, I'm not one to say, oh, it's Kyle Orton. Well, I mean, maybe they see something in him that they don't see in A.J. Mayo, so who knows? Maybe he comes and he lights it up. But I think the Lions are better, especially in Ford Field in Detroit. I think they will be the better team at this juncture, and the Bills lose 3 straight games. Looks so hopeful at the beginning of the season, but now falling off a little bit. But I mean, who knows? There's an upset ability here. I mean, who knows? Maybe Kyle Orton will lead the Bills to something. But Lions 21-17. Alright, Baltimore Ravens at the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm using the Week 2 game as evidence, as the Philadelphia Eagles went to Indianapolis and got the victory. I am using that game as evidence that when the Colts face a good team, they don't play well. Now, yes, they blew out the Jacksonville Jaguars, and yes, they blew out the Tennessee Titans, but now they're facing another good team, and specifically a good defense. And I'm not sure they can move the ball against this defense. The Ravens will completely shut down their running backs in Ahmad Bradshaw and Trent Richardson, so there will be no running game by the Indianapolis Colts today. Or during this game. And then, you can get some stuff against the Ravens defense, but I think the Ravens offense is going to really put them ahead here. I don't think the Colts have enough defensive weaponry to combat the Ravens offense, which is playing pretty damn good now. I mean, they've hit their stride, and they put up 38 against Carolina last week. So I think the Ravens keep rolling. I think they go to Indianapolis, and I think they win in Lucas Oil Stadium 28-24. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Steelers lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week in Pittsburgh, so God knows if they're going to lose this one. But I have some sort of faith in Mike Tomlin, and that faith is still there. But if he loses this game, Oh man, my faith is gonna take a huge hit. He needs to win this game. This is a must-win. And for the Jaguars, no game is a must-win because their season was over when it began. And for anyone who believed that the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to do anything like Gil Brandt of NFL.com, where the Jaguars going 10-6 and missing the playoffs, how dumb do you look? That is the dumbest prediction you can make. And I'm the kid that says the Seahawks are going to miss the playoffs. But saying the Jaguars are going to make the playoffs is absolute retardedness, to be quite honest with you. Steelers 27-20. We had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me go back to the Jaguars. If anyone can tell me one person on their defense that I fear. Now, what do I mean when I say that I fear? He has to be a top 10 player at his position. There is not one player on the Jacksonville Jaguars defense that is a top 10 player at his position. The best they got is Paul Posluszny, and he isn't even a top 15 middle linebacker. I mean, they have Red Bryant. I mean, that's garbage. The Jaguars stink. And they have a lot of rebuilding to do, so let's just forget about that. Now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. Now, the Saints are reeling. But, hey, guys, breaking news. The Saints suck on the road. This has been the same story for the past 3 seasons. They're back at home in New Orleans facing a mediocre to bad team. They're going to get the victory here. They have to get the victory here, and they will, by a score of 31-20. Mike Glennon continues to play well, though. Now, I'm going to contradict myself a little bit, because earlier in this video I said the Falcons are terrible on the road. Now, they're going to New York. Atlanta Falcons at the New York Giants. Now, I'm not high on the Giants. I mean, I'm not buying, yeah, they blew out the Redskins, but I think these Thursday night games are very fraudulent. I think they're very fraudulent. I mean, you look at the Green Bay one. I mean, are they really that bad? I don't think so. Are the Steelers really as bad as they looked on Thursday night? I don't think so. The Buccaneers proved that they're not that bad as we saw on Thursday night because they came out and then they beat the Steelers the next week. I think these Thursday night games are fraudulent games. So I'm not going to put my faith in the New York Giants. And as the Falcons travel on the road, coming off a loss, I think they catch the Giants off guard, and I think the Falcons win 27-23. We have the St. Louis Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles coming off a loss in San Francisco. They looked terrible on offense. LaShawn McCoy is lost, and he cannot be found. I mean, it is ridiculous. Hopefully he's found this game. I think he will be somewhat. I think he'll have a pretty good game against the St. Louis Rams as the Eagles win 26-21. Austin Davis, though, is playing pretty damn well for an undrafted rookie, by the way, in St. Louis. We have the Cleveland Browns at the Tennessee Titans, my Tennessee Titans. Now, you may say I'm a biased fan, but I'm 3-1 when picking Titans game this year, and I think I'm going to be 4-1 as the Cleveland Browns go to Tennessee and win. And this is my logic behind this. Ben Tate is coming back. They have Isaiah Crowell behind him, and they have Terrence West in front of Isaiah, technically, because Isaiah is more of a goal line back. Those two are going to run over this team all day. I mean, Tennessee has shown no interest in stopping the run. I don't think that will, show up now. I think the Browns play a very time of possession, strength game where they hold the ball, they run it down your throat, and they take time off the clock. And I think they win a game 22-19. They could put up even more points than this. But the point is that those 3 running backs are going to dominate this game. And if you have any of those kids in fantasy, start them. We have the Arizona Cardinals at the Denver Broncos. Broncos coming off a bye week. Cardinals coming off a bye week. So that upsets the bye week. I mean, that offsets it. Not upset, that offsets. But Broncos are at home. And I like to go with the home team when it comes to 2 superpowers like this. Carson Palmer should be back. I don't care. I mean, you can't tell me that they looked any more different with Drew Stanton than they did with Carson Palmer. So I'm picking the Denver Broncos, though, 27-21. There you go. Now, this will be my upset of the week. I mean, this is a game that, I mean, on Yahoo, only 4% of people, of human beings, are picking what I'm picking. And that is for the New York Jets to go to San Diego and to win. That's right, to win in San Diego. But, no, San Diego's looking great right now. And, you know, they're 3-1 and the Jets stink. Now, I'm so tired of the Jets stink argument. I mean, let's review it, please. The Jets lost 3 games. 1 to the Green Bay Packers, a game in which they were leading in the first half, by the way. Green Bay Packers being a Super Bowl team to some people. It lost to the Chicago Bears, another playoff contender. I mean, Jesus, if you're trying to tell me the Bears aren't a playoff contender, what's wrong with you? A team, the Bears, that went to San Francisco and won. They lost to the Bears, and they lost to the Lions, a 3-1 team that is, once again, a playoff contender. So, they lost to 3 NFC, which is the better conference. They lost to 3 NFC playoff contenders, and yet Jets fans and Jets haters are saying that they're done, they're finished, you know, they stink, blah, blah, blah. 3 good teams they lost to. Now let's see what they can do. Here's another good team, but I think Rex Ryan, with his back against the wall, always finds a way to pull it out, and I think he will do it again in San Diego. Geno Smith will keep his job for the meantime, as they win 19-16. And the Chargers, they have this game. Like, it appears everything's so sunny in San Diego, and then they have this kind of game. And they just don't play as well as they should. That's going to be this game. They're not going to be able to run the ball. I mean, if the Jets have a great run defense, the Chargers running game is not very good. They're consistent, but they're not good. I think they stifle the Chargers offense, and they win 19-16. There's some analysis for you. If I'm right on that, I mean, give me some props. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Francisco 49ers. I am picking the San Francisco 49ers to win 29-23. But, well, the Chiefs look better, blah, 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 blah. I mean, they did. But I think the crowd played a huge role in that. I think the energy of the stadium played a huge role in that game, in the outcome of the game, for the energy for the own team, because they needed to win that game. They don't need to win this game. The 49ers need to keep winning games to stay in competition, in contention for the NFC West. They won last week. They finally have some positive momentum on their sides, and they will win this week as a result of that. 49ers 29-23. We have the Cincinnati Bengals at the New England Patriots. Oh no, the Patriots stink. Oh my God. Now, like I said, that night, I think every team in the NFL would have lost to Kansas City on that particular night. Their crowd was electric. Their energy was electric. Andy Reid had the best coaching job I've ever seen him do. He was absolutely phenomenal with his play calling. Jamal Charles was unstoppable. I don't think a team in the NFL could have beaten the Chiefs on that night. And now the best coach in the NFL, in Bill Belichick, has his back against the wall, facing Andy Dalton, who has been known to choke in these kind of games. And you know what Bill Belichick is going to do? He's going to push back. You know what Tom Brady's going to do? He's going to push back. And he is going to prove, and the Patriots are going to prove, that they have not regressed. This is the same team they were last year. They're no worse than they were last year. They were just caught off guard. Now they're going to win this one 24-20 because they have to. And when they have to, they do. Now, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Washington Redskins. Now, I've been proclaiming since the beginning of the season that the Seahawks will miss the playoffs. I just want to keep reminding you of that because I am not going to back down ever. Now, this is the game I actually had penciled in as a loss for Seattle. Now, I'm going to change that pencil. I'm going to change it to pen. I'm going to have it as the Seahawks winning. But the Redskins have had, this is gonna be like 12 days, 11 days, 11 to prepare for this game. So I'm not going to dismiss the possibility that the Redskins could catch the Seahawks off guard. If the Redskins can control the ball, keep the ball away from the Seahawks, play a game very similar to the Chargers and how they beat the Seahawks. So I'm not dismissing the possibility of the Seahawks losing. But I will pick the Seahawks to win this one. But keep this in mind. When it comes to initial picks, now I did change that Seahawks game to San Diego. But when it comes to initial picks, I'm 0-4 when picking Seahawks games. We'll see if that's the case here. Now, anyway though, James Carter TV, thank you for checking out this video. Comment down below your predictions, and I'll be back to recap all the games as I usually do. All the games that I watch. Let me make that clear. I only recap games that I watch. It means if it's on my TV, I'm recapping it most likely. Unless somebody fell asleep, or I didn't care, or the game stunk. Alright, I mean, if it wasn't for one of those things, I'm going to recap it. So you don't have to worry about that. But then people say, review my team, review my... If it's on my TV, I'll do it. But I only get 5 games a week. That's Thursday. That's the early morning game, which will be a Titans game, okay? For me, because I'm in the Nashville area. The afternoon game, the Sunday night game, and the Monday night game. That's it. That's all I get. 5, and then 2 of those or 1 of those I won't do because it will stink. So, there you go. James Carter TV. I'm out. Peace.